this is TricitiesKnit, and we have a special episode for you today. It's going to be a little bit shorter, but we're on location today at Baad Anna's. But I forgot to introduce ourselves. I'm Jenny, this is Natalie, and this is Paula. She's the owner of Baad Anna's shop in East Vancouver, BC, Canada, and we're here to talk about her yarn shop.
And what is the
yarns.
location? Can you say the address?
The address? I'll put that in the notes actually. Okay. Do you remember the address?
Yeah, it's 2667 East Hastings. It's pretty close to PNE, between PNE and Nanaimo Street.
And there's a really good coffee shop across the street. Anyway, so in the last year, there's just been tons of new yarns added here. So if you guys are local, you totally have to come by and visit. It's way different than it used to be. And how old is the shop?
So the shop has been around for about 7 years now. It was owned by Anna of Baad Anna's for the first 5 years, and I've owned it now for 2 years. She was a good friend of mine, and she decided to move her family to Winnipeg and actually go a little back in the system, where she's now actually rearing sheep and making fiber and wool off of it. So she's spinning some of her fiber. She just released her first yarn herself. In the meantime, I was lucky enough to be able to jump into this opportunity when it came. And the reason I loved this shop when Anna owned it, and what I tried to replicate and continue on over the last 2 years, is to make sure it is community focused. It's very welcoming to knitters of any level, of any walk of life and stride. So we have great community building opportunities. We have a free of charge Stitch and Bitch Knit Night every week on Wednesdays, 6 to 8. Anyone can come in and join and just enjoy it. That's beginners all the way to advanced, and people are just enjoying their knitting. We have a lot of classes that are quite affordable, and a lot of our beginner classes are sliding scale to make it affordable for people of different economical levels to be able to afford. We just really enjoy getting into the community. We go out into schools, we collect donations of people when people are thinning their old yarn stashes of yarns that they just can't find the right project for, or acrylics and other things that they no longer really want to play with. We'll take those and then donate them out to schools and to hospitals. So we do a lot of really fun community building, including strengthening and building the fiber community here, where we do trunk shows of local designers. Actually, Sweater Freaks had one of our first, which was fantastic. And we're really showcasing, we have a lot of talent on the West Coast. So we're showcasing designers, we're showcasing yarn dyers, and also other sort of neat, unique knit-related niches, like the Kristen McIntyre's beautiful buttons, handmade buttons and stuff like that. So we're really proud of building the community as much as having a retail outlet in the store available for new and exciting knitworks.
Yeah. We should come to the Wednesdays. I just figured out that we could actually make it.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah,
We'd love to have you.
Try to get back. Well, it's just Wednesdays.
What time did it start?
6 to 8.
It's 6
to
to 8
guys
every
are
Wednesday.
around 6 to 8 on Wednesdays.
Perfect class,
Yeah, come by, and I've never been to a knit night.
Yeah. So something else we've tried to do in the last 2 years is really bring on, like you said, a lot of new and really interesting yarns that you sometimes see online, but don't necessarily have a chance to get your hands on. And that's the beauty of a local yarn store. I'm hoping people still do a lot of local shopping. And we're kind of an interesting niche where people do order yarn online, but they still prefer the experience of going in, touching, feeling, and really enjoy the shopping experience of being in a bricks and mortar store. So we brought on stuff that they've seen on Instagram that's kind of new and unique or hard to get. So the first sort of big coup we had in terms of bringing something really exciting in was our wool mice. And wool mice is something that's been around for 10-15 years. It comes out of Germany, a wonderful German dyer that's known for her amazing colorways. But I love her base. The bases itself are just beautiful tight twists to them, so they just make for really satisfying knits where they have very good stitch definition, but they also
And
have
good
extremely great
And
wear.
actually, one thing about Woolmice, see, I never actually talk to people about this, but it's always just,
It's pretty
really-
hush
On the
hush.
internet,
It's
yeah.
pretty hush hush. Well,
Yeah.
nice. If you know it, you know it. But we're trying to get
Yeah.
more people to be introduced to it.
Yeah, it's she never used to sell through like brick and mortar, and it used to be very hard to get it. But one thing about them that's different from a lot of other dyers is that her yarns are color fast. They do not bleed.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times you would put, like, say red is really hard, and sometimes it bleeds, like we talked about it in the previous episodes. For some, you have to really fix it well, and sometimes even that doesn't work. Her stuff does not. Like, I don't know what she does. Maybe it's good old German quality, or I don't know.
She definitely has
But
quality
it's,
control.
yeah, it's her, and it's a lot of people, like, when you do stripes, like they'll do like light gray and red, right? And when you wash it, you don't want it the red to
bleed,
run,
yeah.
right? So, and for her, it's not an issue.
So,
Definitely.
and the other neat thing about her skein, so this is a skein of her DK. She has only about 3 bases. She has 2 different fingerings, 100% merino and a 80-20 merino nylon. And then she has a DK, and she also has a lace. But all her skeins are heavy in terms of, she doesn't scale at 100 grams. She wants you to make sure you have the same color fluctuations and dye job in a full project. So her skeins come in, for the fingering it's 150 grams, and this is the DK, it's 200 grams. The lace is a giant Mongo 300 gram skein.
grams.
It's a pretty heavy fingering.
Cute small thingy now.
Yeah, and
We
but her
didn't see-
lace is 300 grams.
I can bring
Which,
the
and
one.
there's,
Yeah.
that's all right, it just has 1,700 yards. That's all I wanted to say before.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
amazing.
It's very generous.
This is her
yeah,
fingering.
yes.
In tiny little tastes. They're called
These
tastes
are
of
so
Woolmice.
cute.
And this is actually a nice natural fit to what you were talking about. You're really interested in color work nowadays.
Yes.
Oh yes,
yes,
color
yeah.
work. It would be perfect for
Or
color work.
stripes, whatever people
Yeah,
now.
because something like you don't want to get the full skein because you may not use it, but these give you opportunity to play with color. Yeah.
So, and we've also had some really neat, fun local or Canadian yarns that came through. So another of the color work pieces we have is a Julie Assadin, who comes from Montreal or Quebec. Not sure if she's actually from Montreal in Quebec or where else in one of the more rural. I think she's more rural. But she also has mini
It's a gorgeous
skeins. So this is it's hard to see, well, it's very dainty color differences, but from the sort of musty blue to the beautiful lavender gray. But she has a lot of different minis, but she also has these beautiful skeins. She was her yarn was the highlight of this last year's knit social, and that was a base of cashmere silk and merino, which was amazing. So we have that base here in a number of full skein colors. This is the same. No, this is her silk and merino called Lezu. And we also have a very affordable, she has a really affordable regular 80-20 sock yarn at $27.
Oh, I just saw it. It seems very sturdy.
Good,
Yeah.
sturdy
It
stuff.
seems like a
Sock
real
yarn,
sock
yeah.
yarn. Yeah.
Feel like sock yarn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so she is a huge draw for people. She came to Knit City and I think made a splash with the Pacific Northwest knitter scene by attending. So we have her yarns here available, which is amazing because she has really good quality and a great selection of colors. But of course we have the most local talent, dyeing talent is, of course, Sweet Georgia, and they come in beautiful full skeins, but also for color work you got a lot of these little mini sets. And they're coming out with more and more different varieties of mini sets, including their fall colors, which are really, really beautiful.
And she always has a really big booth at Knit City as
We
well.
didn't bring yarn ink actually. I
Oh.
think only the shop who carry the yarn ink, and
Yeah.
she's a local as well.
She's from
Yarn ink.
Alberta.
Oh, yarn ink. You had yarn ink?
We have one colorway left.
Oh,
We
yeah.
bring it out after Knit City. She comes to Knit
Yep.
City every year as well. So she's from Alberta. Another amazing Alberta find recently. And this is only available on Etsy and then our store. I'm hoping to. I'm just their biggest advocate, and I'd love to see it in other stores across BC. Is Flock Fiber Arts. So they have a beautiful. They have a lot of speckles and beautiful tonals. So here's one. Do we want to show the?
Yeah.
We have a beautiful Waiting for Rain shawl knit out of. She has two bases. This is her single space. So this is these two colors. knit into a gorgeous Waiting for Rain shawlette.
Yeah, it's
And
by
her
Sylvia
colors I
McFadden
found easy
pattern,
to
yeah.
combine into the fade. It's so popular right now because
Yes.
she has those colors which you can,
Yeah, like for
Just-
example, these three, like I
yeah,
picked to show, like it, you know, they could go together as a fade.
together as this fade.
And
yeah.
even the other colors that are, not the pinks, but the other colors she
Yeah,
has,
they-
they could
we have
all
a
go
beautiful
together.
example.
Yes,
Look at
I
this.
She
combined
made a
this
cardigan
into the
from this,
cardigan
and
and
yeah.
I
And they,
bought this yarn from the store. So
And so we have that in a singles twist, or a regular sock yarn.
Yep.
Take a hike sock.
I
And
love
it's
her
beautiful.
single ply. I don't
This
know
is
where
her
she
single
get-
ply.
It's so woolly.
Yeah.
Like it's not it's not as like
Silky.
silky, and I prefer the woolly. Like it's, if you guys like the more of a
it's
woolly
not-
yarn,
not
then it's
like
got a different.
matoche,
It's not like matoche. It's got more of a tooth to it. It's not
it's
prickly
not
at all
itchy,
though.
yeah.
It just has more of a woolly feel to it. It is
Yeah.
super wash too though. I think it's still super
Yeah.
wash. I'm pretty sure, but I don't know. It must be a different base, maybe a different Canadian mill or something like that. But
Well,
yeah,
we're definitely
it's
going to be
just gorgeous.
supplying her through and through the fall.
Mhm.
She has amazing colorways, and we're excited. It's a small 2-person dye group
Mm-hmm.
from Calgary, so we're happy to have
So they're
them as
pretty
well.
close. They're
Pretty close.
Yeah. They're pretty
And
close.
then one not quite so local, but has been a real hit recently is a dyer from Wool & Boon, and again, it comes back to the gradient, the find your fade trend that's been going on. If you look on Instagram,
Mhm.
there's just the majority of find your fades have some Wool & Boon in them. And again,
Yeah.
it was a small shop that just opened about two months ago, but the only place you can get them was online, and they were sold out immediately as soon as they posted their new inventories. So we are absolutely thrilled to be
So these
the
are just
only
some
store
examples.
in Western Canada that has Wool & Boon. So Wool & Boon has some beautiful colorways, a lot of speckles, a lot of just bright in your face colors, but also these beautiful gradient mixtures where you can really
Yeah.
work on some
There
gorgeous
was a
fades.
yellow, a plain yellow that works with that too.
Yeah.
Last time. May have sold out now, but yeah. It's
If you
just-
look on
it's
our
really
Instagram
nice.
at Baad Annas, we're currently knitting Hohi pattern,
Oh, yeah.
the mystery cow, and it includes all of these different ones. So it includes the Juliacidin, the flock, also our
That's gonna be
hedgehog,
a
which we
nice
brought
cocktail.
in, and the Wool & Boon as well.
Speaking of hedgehog, these are, you do have the sock as well.
We have the twist, which I think we're the only store in the Lower Mainland that actually carries the twist, I believe, which is the BFL base. These ones aren't. These are the regular merino because they're the minis, but the full skeins that we have in stock are the BFL called the sock twist.
Are you
So-
planning to order this?
It's on its way. It's on its way. So we'll see if we can. Yeah, we loved it, and
And these
it's,
again, perfect for color work. And
so
you
we have the
get-
little ones. Look how cute these are.
You get 20 grams, so 80 meters, and they're would be really good for color work.
Hedgehog makes us so
Accents are-
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're just brilliant in terms of their colors.
Yeah.
But Wool & Boon is a pretty tight competitor, and a little more on the continent, which is kind of fun.
Yeah,
local
I can
brand.
imagine. Where is she located?
They're middle America. I'm not
Okay.
sure exactly.
Yeah, definitely closer to the
Sorry.
hedgehog a little bit. Yeah, but it's a nice assortment of yarns. I mean, it's very. I think you've done a really good job with,
Thank
you.
you.
The variety of things that people look for. Like again, people log in on Instagram and they see all these things, and with the fade especially, I found, and I know not everyone is a perfectionist as myself, but people want to it's still nice to see them in person to make sure you're going to get the effect that you're after, with the transition, the color transition. If you're doing the kit yourself,
internet,
Yeah,
it's
like,
not how they
it's
appear
hard
in
to
real
know
life,
sometimes because the computer screens have different, they're not all calibrated for color, and if they're not calibrated for color, you probably won't see the way it really looks, and even then you probably won't. But
And half the
It's,
fun is also seeing what samples there are in the different stores, what people have made with them. This is from some
yeah, I was gonna ask
hedgehog,
you,
two colored brioche.
oh yeah,
One of Stephen West's combinations,
gosh,
brioche
look
color.
at that.
And it's
Whoa.
just fun to play, right? And we've had
That is
lots of people
nice.
come in.
Did you make it?
I have a wonderful sample knitter who gets us hands-on samples within days of any yarn arriving.
Oh my god.
Which is amazing because you really want to see it. So that the flock that I showed you with the two-tone pink, we've had many people come in and look at all the beautiful colors of flock and make color combinations, and then in the end walk out with those two pinks. Just say, it's nice, I know what it looks like, it helps.
Yeah, because people, like, you know, sometimes it's hard to imagine what your product is going to look like with your knitting, with the colors you picked. You really have to have a lot of imagination. Like a 3D imagination. A lot of people just, you know, they want to see what they're getting at the end.
And that's
right?
perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Knitting is to different things to different people. So if you have that satisfaction of knowing that the end project is what you want, then maybe that's the style.
Yeah.
Of, you know, that's what you'll get out of knitting. That's what the knitting therapy for you will be. I love the color combinations, but I never make color combination recommendations to customers because they all see color differently.
You should get Kit's River Studio yarn. It's
Yes.
very nice.
Where is it?
Girl.
Yes.
They
They are
are-
Riverside Studio. I'll give you the link.
They
yeah.
are up to the east.
They're in
right?
Ontario. It's a Canadian
It's a
diary.
border, I think, Ontario and Quebec.
Yep.
And they have
It's just amazing colors. I'll show you.
That's
I'll show you these.
fantastic.
Their Etsy shop. It's just amazing colors.
Well, and
Absolutely
here's
amazing.
a call to action. If anyone wants to see yarn in hand in a store, in your local store, if you're nearby and you're interested in seeing a yarn brought on, if there's something new and interesting that you just are absolutely flip over, send me an email. Send it to info@baadannas. Nope, sorry, baadannas@gmail.com. We just changed our email. baadannas.gmail.com, and you can just give me recommendations. I'd love to hear what people want, and if I can track it down, then I'm happy to bring it in. I want to make sure that we have lots of yarn selection. I try not to duplicate what the other yarn stores in Vancouver and the Lower Mainland have, and it's been a lot of fun, just basically yarn fishing.
Yeah. Oh, isn't that that's the best part? That's the best part. Sometimes it's more fun than knitting. I think it's actually you're doing pretty well with that. I think in terms of, and you're pretty far also from other yarn shops too.
Yeah,
I think, and they all carry different things. You know, sometimes I'd go in and they would all carry different things to make sure that, you know, the wide variety is available, but you're not duplicating the same thing. People are
but make sure you come by often too, because things come and go, and there's, you know, I call it yarn real estate, is what we can keep in store, and if we want to bring something new and exciting on, something else has to go, and sometimes it's stuff that is wonderful. Working with a lot of local artists, local dyers, and buying local, you are going to be looking at people that come and go, and sometimes you'll never see that yarn again. So if you find something you like, buy it. We always have a great return policy.
Speaking of which,
so.
one yarn I forgot to grab to show is Beehive. Sorry, not Beehive, Hummingbee. Hummingbee. It's a local, actually from the island. It's
a
got
farm.
a nice woolly feel to it.
Well, it's their
almost-
own sheep.
Yeah, and they take
They'll take their sheep.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
done in Alberta at the custom woolen mill, and then they bring it back, and it's $18 for 100
it's woolen
grams
spun.
worsted,
Woolen
and it's
spun, yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's very similar, I think, to range in a lot of ways. I don't think I'd be able to tell the difference between the two.
Yep. And you can use it for all these great patterns. We have it for a lot of Andrea Mowry's patterns, or Shannon and Jane's patterns. Just anything that uses the nice, you know,
nice sturdy,
woolly, sturdy wool. You don't need the American wool. And there's very
Breaks
few
a little.
American wools in our store. The couple we have, the woolen wool we brought in, we tweaked it in, sneaked it in, because of I really had a intense desire to minimize the amount of American yarns we have, because we have so much talent in
We
Canada.
have a lot of talent in Canada.
So,
for
and there's
sure,
a lot of duplicates of Canadian yarns that we don't need a lot of the American yarns that you find. We don't need Macintosh. We don't need.
Yeah, Macintosh is available in a lot of places.
Yeah, but we don't need it. We have Sweet
Yeah.
Georgia, so
Yeah.
why duplicate that kind of talent
Yeah.
when you have it in your backyard?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I'm really happy to support local.
Especially like the one yarn I always tell people about, especially if they like wool, and it's very affordable and it lasts forever, is Briggs and Little.
Yep.
Yeah. Briggs
But we
and
have a
Little,
huge selection. We have the
colors are to die for.
And
big-
good for color works.
Yeah, we have the big thick stuff that you can knit up a sweater in a day or two, the Cowichan style sweaters. So it's the country roving, it's a big ball, but you know, and you can get a sweater for under $60 and in a week. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's very, and it's something that you're gonna make that's gonna last for forever. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it wears out. And there's this. I like the split weight too. because it's got a nice weight to it, and it's almost like fingering / sport knits up to both. But that's a Canadian brand too, so I think you've got a good variety.
And
Yeah.
I honestly really enjoy working with this yarn. It's like
Oh yeah.
so satisfactory when you knit. It's like, oh, you only need more
Yeah.
and more.
Yeah, the
And
smell.
at $6 100 grams, you can't really beat it.
I
There's
know,
no reason
I know.
to go to a scheme that costs $15,
Yeah.
$16 for 50 grams when you have Briggs and Little from your
Yeah,
backyard.
especially if you like nice sturdy heathered colors, which are like I think that Elizabeth Zimmerman actually in one of her books, there's a green sweater that uses one of the colorways that's still in production from them, because they haven't really changed the colorways a whole lot because they're so classic and you don't really need to change them. In my opinion, they're timeless, right? And she used it in one of her 3 books. I forget which one, but
Knitting Without Tears.
something like that in one of these books, and I thought to myself, wow, it's good enough for Elizabeth Zimmerman. This is the yarn to knit with for
if you ever need rustic,
yeah.
that's an absolutely great go-to.
Yeah, it's the one to go with. And I heard they sell it in grocery stores in New Brunswick.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's a part of the fisherman sweater,
exactly.
history, right?
Yeah. Those what do you call them? Now that word escapes me. Fisherman sweaters. Yeah, there's a word for it. Aran and Gunsy. Yeah, it would be perfect for that.
Yeah.
Anyways, and you also have some like a lot of needles, a lot of different needles, including like carbons.
Yeah, we've been
carbons are
our sort of go-to is the Knitter's Pride. So we have it in wood and the pretty colors. We also have a really good favorite of people is the carbons, which have the carbon fiber and then the metal tip.
Oh, I love those ones.
Yeah, those ones are nice. Yeah.
Excuse me.
And the chiagu.
We always have
the
some
sock.
chiagu on hand as well. So we have a nice selection. But definitely the Knitter's Pride is a good affordable needle, sort of middle affordability needle. It's good to invest into, but it gives you as quality as Addie or anything like that.
Yeah, no, and it's for a lot of people, they like it even more because it's a lot of newer knitters. They definitely have a bit more trouble with the Addies are really sleek, and it's hard for people to make sure they get the proper grip. So I think a lot of people go for bamboo, or you have bamboo chiagu as well. And these
but
guys,
the wooden ones are great because they have nice
sleeve coating.
but they're also a bit sticky, so they
They're
so
like
you're nicer, slower. While the carbons with the metal tip have that sort of your stitches don't slip off your needle, but you still have the speed of the carbons.
Yeah, I tried them. I love them.
Metal tip.
I love
for
them.
socks especially.
Yeah,
I like
carbons,
the carbons, yeah.
And even the double pointed, doing socks on double pointed. I love the carbons.
A lot of people say that actually.
Yeah.
Like Chantal said that too. Like there's a choice of many. I don't knit socks very often.
Yeah.
I started my socks.
You should try bigger socks. Tie
I
up here and bring some little.
I don't know.
Slipper socks that will take you a day.
I'm just not a sock knitter, I don't think. Yeah. Anyways, do you want to show some books too? Or
Okay, so
we'll run through
speaking
some
of
the literature available as well.
speaking of the color work, we found very nice selection of the
Loki magazines,
Loki magazines. So it's
And they're on clearance. They're $5
yeah,
each.
it's very cheap.
Look at
so
this! Look at this fun little pattern in the back.
Oh,
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
I didn't notice
nice.
that. Oh my
Nice.
god!
And you know what would work great for that is you can use Icelandic wool like Loki, but you could also use Canadian Briggs and Little.
Bricks and Littles, yeah,
Absolutely.
works perfectly for these patterns. So yeah, come and check. And what Jenny found, this is a really good book. It's a bunch of the pattern from the North Europe, and for I think it's
It has a lot of color work in it, a lot of Fair Isle styles. What's the name of the book?
it's a
Northern
Northern
Knits.
Knits.
Yeah.
So come and check.
Perfect. And then we have, if you're, Jenny was talking about color work, we have an absolutely local favorite, Tin Can Knits, one of our faves. And they just put out earlier this year, Mad Color, which has just beautiful, it's one of their thicker books, and it has quite a lot of patterns. It has a couple patterns, one that was first published in Pom Pom and only available through them. Now it's available here, and a lot of new patterns and a couple of their classics. But it's just a lot of fun, beautiful blankets. Tin Can is amazing because there are garments, almost all of the garments, they have sized from 0 to 3 months all the way to 4X large, so you can knit to match your mini humans.
It's a lot of work.
Which is a lot of fun.
I admire them a lot for doing for grading it.
And this book is just beautiful. Whenever you buy one of their books, they have a code on the inside, so you can actually get online patterns as well.
Oh, that's nice.
Download all their patterns. So we have all their books, but that's their most recent, latest.
And this one,
the latest,
Joji Locatelli and Vera.
They're great.
Yes.
So we have all 4 volumes of the interpretations. Each one has about 5 to 8 patterns in it, but that's an amazing collaboration.
It's gorgeous,
because it's lots of fun.
Yeah, actually, that looks like. Let's see.
Oh.
No, those are their knitters.
It's knitters.
But yeah, it does look like they have actually quite a bit more. But they have a bit of everything. They have sweaters and accessories, but their sweaters seem to fit all different body types, which is fantastic. They both have a slightly different style. There's one is from Ireland and one is from Brazil.
Finland, I think.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I think Joji is from. Oh, you know what?
I think she was from South America somewhere.
She's in South America. But I don't. It's on the tip of my tongue now.
Crazy collaboration, but they are brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So they had 1 to 3, 4 just
Hot
came
and
out.
cold, I would say.
And we also have, in addition to those, we have all the pom-poms, including their.
Nice.
I think they have a 5-year anniversary, so they're actually reprinting the first volume again.
Nice.
So we have a lot of their back issues as well as their most current ones. Their celebration issue and their first issue reprints are going to be coming in the next couple weeks.
That's an interesting trend I actually talked about with a few other people. The new crop of magazines seems to be quite different from the old crop in the sense that now we've got, I'm losing track of all of them, but we've got the Lane magazine, we've got the Rib. Rib is for men, I think. Yeah, and then we've got Pom Pom, we've got Making Stories, or I'm confused now. And then there's a Dots, the new issue of Matter.
I'm not sure.
There's just so many.
Most of those will be coming in.
Yeah,
here
and they're all kind of have a similar look to them. But I think what sets them apart from the Vogue knitting and the interweave is that they incorporate a lot of patterns that are not necessarily knitting.
Oh, really?
I don't think Pom Pom does that, but the other ones do. You'd go in and there'd be like cake recipes in there, and maybe how to make a tablecloth, or maybe how to
good old good housekeeping.
It's sort of like a exactly. So you open
Canadian
magazine,
living.
and you can kind of like, it's not just knitting. It's sort of more like a do-it-yourself lifestyle, So you can make that cake and knit that. Whatever sweater or whatever.
And the great thing about that is that they have some of the most talented but local secret type designers, such as Tin Can Knits has the 2 ladies from Tin Can Knits have shown up in Pom Pom as well, a few others. And you just get these highlights of some of the best designers from around the world. Yeah. Definitely up and coming, and some of the hottest ones already, the currently hottest ones as well.
Yeah, it's nice to get a glimpse of different. I think a lot of these magazines are produced in Europe. Most of them are coming from Europe. Yeah, I think Pom Pom is British.
Well, it's good fun.
Yeah, so hopefully we've given you guys a good overview of Baad Anna's, and that's a shop that used to be my local yarn store when I lived around this area. Yeah, it's a very vibrant community.
Tell me about your trip, which you do.
We're quite excited because in about
yes, I forgot
2 weeks we're launching our very first Baad Anna's road trip. We're going to take our all these specialty yarns that, again, people don't necessarily have a chance to touch and feel, because they're only available in very limited stores and online. We're taking them across BC, so we're actually stopping in a number of locations. We're doing, I think, 8 stops in 10 days. So we have Kamloops and Kelowna and Penticton and Oliver, New Denver.
Osoyoos?
No, we're close, so close. We have a few, like Oliver and Penticton nearby. But we're going all the way to like Grand Forks and Castlegar and New Denver.
Goodness.
There's a brand new fiber festival called Fiberphilia in New Denver for the whole sort of Kootenay region, and that was sort of this month, June 26th,
Nice,
for the weekend.
nice.
So that was sort of the pinpoint of where we were going.
Yep.
And then we've had a lot of yarn stores interested in working together with us. We showcase some of our yarns. They'll showcase their new fall lines, and we're going to be doing yarn tasting events, some pop-up shops along the way, and then this festival. So we're really excited about just taking a badass road trip on the road.
I think it's a great
Yeah.
idea. And I mean, BC is just, it's a gorgeous province. And that's coming from me who doesn't even like Vancouver. But I love interior BC. I would move there tomorrow.
Yeah, and again, we have
Yeah.
so much talent right across
Yeah.
the province.
And
so
there's a lot of knitters. There's a lot of, you know, people
there's
interested
a lot of
in
guilds, so the guilds are welcoming us, both the knitters guilds, but also, especially in the interior, it's much more of the weavers and the spinner
Really?
guilds. And we have
Wow.
some great fiber coming. We're bringing some hedgehog fiber. We're also bringing some local, semi-local from BC fiber that's dyed here, but the base is yak and camel, and just beautiful, beautiful stuff. And of course, some beautiful sweet Georgia, because she has such talented colorways. So, yeah.
Maybe we discover some new dyers.
Absolutely. If you know anyone in the interior, please let them know. We're gonna have it on our Instagram, on our Facebook, everything under
Yes.
Baad Annas.
She has some hemp.
Ah,
Actually,
Yeah, they're gonna be at the Fiber Festival,
Oh.
the Hemp for Knitting.
I'm just going to show you something while we're talking about hemp for knitting.
Do you want to take a quick tour of the store? Just
Oh
get a
yes,
walk
yeah,
through?
yeah, we will do.
Fantastic.
But I'm a huge fan of hemp, and I'm actually knitting. Sorry, I'm using a plastic bag as my project bag. Pardon me.
she had
But
enough.
I have enough project
Yeah.
bags. But anyways, I'm just knitting my second sample for my design from this is pure hemp.
Nice.
This is all hemp 3, which is the fingering version. There's a 6, which is DK, and it's the
Yep.
same.
It's
Lana.
hemp. It's
Lana-
Lana Knits, which is
Lana, yep.
called Hemp for Knitting
Yeah.
as well. So.
And I'm going to talk about hemp in every chance I get. And the reason, because people really don't give it, I think, as much time and
Consideration,
second
yeah.
consideration as they should. It's a superior fiber. It's forever. You can throw it in the washing machine and it behaves pretty much like linen. Perfect drape. I washed this once.
They get softer and softer
Yeah,
as
yeah.
you go.
I washed this once because I always block my knits midway through to see how they fit. And this is already different. And look how even the knitting is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's honestly, and it's not hard on the hands. And
great summer
my hand is not perfect, right? So,
Great summer knits. You're
Yeah.
not going to get hot. You're
Yeah.
not going to get hot and drapey.
and the
Cool.
only place to get 100% hemp yarn is here in Canada.
Yeah.
In Nelson, BC, and this is the business Lana Knits.
Yeah, they're going to be
Hemp
at
for
the Fiber
knitting. Yeah.
Festival. They're going to
And
be
Knit
one of our
City.
stops.
Yeah, and Knit City she comes to.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I met her. I got this in 2011.
It was one of my first knits too. It's a
Yeah.
little harder to knit with because it has no
Yeah.
give. So it's
Yeah.
a little harder on the hands, but boy, that end product is worth it.
Yeah, it's kind of like linen, I think. It's similar, very similar, I
Yeah,
find.
it
to
is absolutely
linen.
is the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
And renewable, a great resource. So
It's
Yeah.
very eco. What I find is a lot of people they're into that eco-friendly thing, but they completely discount hemp. They don't talk about it, and this is the most friendly fiber
absolutely, yeah.
because when they're producing it, it doesn't take any toll on the environment.
It's not livestock based.
It's not livestock based. It leaves the soil better than before, and it's amazing. Absolutely,
It
amazing
grows
fiber.
every year.
and it grows.
Or even maybe
Yeah.
a couple times a year. It's a
and,
weed, basically.
and it's not hard to grow. They don't call it
Yeah.
weed for no reason.
Mhm.
It'll take over your yard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can actually.
Yeah, this is gonna be
Yeah,
the
give
tour over the shop. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So I'll get out of the view
We
actually.
got some wool mice DK, and you can, with a 200-gram skein, you can knit a 4-year-old sweater. It's fantastic. Then we have our very utilitarian wools. We have our Galways and our Cascades right through. We keep a tiny bit of acrylic, really good quality acrylic, because there's still the baby knits and the new knitters that would prefer that price point and that sort of ease of wear, throwing in the washing machine, not worrying about any shrinking and fading and all that. We have some wonderful local vegan yarns who comes from US, and she sources from around the world some of the most amazing non-animal based products, but she has some absolutely unique, beautiful textures and yarns. We have our Malabrigo, because everyone has to have a bit of Malabrigo in their lives.
Oh yeah.
We have some yarn on the house, Yaw, which is lovely stuff. It's cashmere. We have the tail end of some amazing yarn called Gauge Dye Works, which used to be Caterpillar Green. She has never been in a yarn store before because she just sells online directly and at Knit City. But we had a trunk show with her just recently, so she left a few skeins behind, and if you're lucky enough to come to pick up some of her new colorways, like the White Light that has been a real hit. We have our Woolen Boon, which we have a new order coming in, and Hedgehog. Both of those, they sold out about half the stock within the first weekend, so we do need to keep on top of ordering those beauties. But do come in and play around. We have another wonderful, wonderful yarn called Joma, who's just from Vancouver Island. She plays with some amazing colors. We also have it in fingering, but her colorways don't pool. She just has these bursts of colors that are just beautiful rainbow throughout. Then we have some Julia Acetyn that actually matches. This is the Humming Bee. From Shawnigan Lake on Vancouver Island. That's $18, 100 gram skein, farm to needle beauties. So this is actually a rain shawl made out of the humming bee. It's just a beautiful, beautiful rustic farm to needle option. See our gorgeous hippopotamus that was made by our beautiful store manager, Sarah. She's not for sale. And then we have our selection of Sweet Georgia, who we love to support. We do not keep any Mad Tosh in store because we don't need to. We got Sweet Georgia. Sweet Georgia is absolutely brilliant with her beautiful variegates and her solids. We got a small selection of our flock here. We have a giant box coming in the next week. We have Ancient Arts, which always is a big hit. We tend to keep a lot of more solids in stock because people like to knit with solids and now speckled, but our Ancient Arts is our most amazing variegated, and we can't seem to keep that on the shelf. It has a really, really interesting niche in yarns. And then, believe it or not, we're one of the largest suppliers of felting supplies. So we have a broad range of colors of Corriedale wool at a really affordable price at $5 a braid. We also make mixture cups of different colors for people starting out. We sell individual needles for $1.50. I think we have the largest selection, and we're actually one of the only ones that sell sort of larger quantities of and larger selections of felting fiber. So that's actually one of our biggest turnover items every month is our actually felting supplies. So welcome to Baad Annas.
All right, so we had fun recording the episode, and I hope you guys liked it too. And we're going, or I'm going on vacation until the end of June. So next time we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.